Speaking of Christians, Jews, and Muslims in this country, a lot of Muslims want to claim that this is a Muslim country as much as a Judeo-Christian country. Not true. And they say that, anyway, President Thomas Jefferson, he had a run-in with the Muslims in the Barbary Coast when they were ripping off our people and so forth. So it's not a new issue so much, but it's here. But what is a Muslim? What is a Jew? What is a Christian? Well, Jesus, Yeshua, says, it's not any spectacular wisdom, it's common sense, that you shall know a person by its fruit. You should know a tree and a plant by the fruit it bears. An orange cannot bear an apple fruit, and vice versa. So, if a Christian is a Christian, then you should be able to see in that Christian practices in life. If a Jew is a Jew, you should be able, according to the word, see practices of Jew in that life. If one is a Muslim, you should see in the word and the practice of Muslim in that life. Now, if a person says that they're a Jew and don't act like a Jew but act like a Christian, what are they? Christian. If a Christian says that they're a Christian and act like a Jew, what are they? Jew. If a person says that they're a Christian and act like a Muslim, what are they? Muslim. You know the old adage. If it walks like a duck, has a bill like a duck, quacks like a duck, has feathers like a duck, has web feet like a duck, lays eggs like a duck, and tastes like a duck, what is it? A pig? It's a duck. Now, no matter what this particular POTUS, President of the United States, Barack Hussein Obama, says that he is a Christian, come on, folks, Judeo-Christians, we should know a Christian when we see one. And we have the right to judge whether a person is a Christian or a Jew when they profess to be so, especially when we see strange things happening, strange fruit all around them. Though he says he's a Christian, and though he went to a Christian church in Chicago to learn under Reverend Wright, Mr. Obama was brought up a Muslim, from baby, from child, a Muslim, a Muslim. According to the Quran, anyone who says or who professes Islam and then turns from Islam is of a worse fate than those who never were into Islam. So if Mr. Obama says today that he is a Christian when he was brought up Muslim under two Muslim fathers, and he goes around the world, he speaks first not to Israel, the Judaic nation, he goes to Egypt, an Arab country, and appeals to them. Then he goes to the king of Saudi Arabia. Never in the history of his country has a president bowed and kissed anyone's hand or ring. Remember when they threatened John, when they said that John Kennedy would submit to the Pope? Well, when John Kennedy went to visit the Pope in Rome, he did not kiss the Pope's ring. He shook his hand. And Mr. Obama bowed his knee to Islam. Now, this wasn't just a mere Arab king. This was the king of Saudi Arabia. He is the grand keeper of Mecca, Medina, the holy cities, where no Gentiles are allowed to be there, no non-Muslims allowed to be there. He says he's a Christian, but the fruit doesn't bear it out. And it seems to me, folks, as an American patriot who knows a little about our history, everything that this particular president has done has been in and against the United States of America and the original purpose and dream that our founding fathers founded this country for. Remember he said in the campaign, America's a great nation. I'm going to fundamentally transform it. A lot of you don't know what that means. But I know what it means. In fact, we black people are suffering under it more than anybody else. Because see, he is not one of us. Yes, he is an African American. I'm not an African American, nor is anyone else that was brought here on the slave ships of that lineage African Americans. The Africans kicked us out. We are Americans, United States citizens, by the 14th Amendment that this Muslim-oriented president is trying to give to people who have broke into this country illegally to have their babies. He's not black. He's not black. he's a Kenyan, the African, and he's a white guy. He's more of a white guy than the average white guy in America. The only difference with Mr. Obama is he has a genetic tan, you see. Therefore, I consider him, being that he is the president, therefore the leader of the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is the one who held the slaves for 245 years. It was the Democratic Party who initiated the Jim Crow laws against us for 99 years. It was the Democratic Party that created the Ku Klux Klan as a military terrorist organization to terrify us freed slaves and Republicans, white or black. He is the president of the party. Makes him therefore what? The Grand Wizard, the grandest Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan with a genetic tan. Did you notice, folks, for all the white racists in America and the fear of a black president, which he isn't, you notice the Ku Klux Klan has been very quiet in America lately? You haven't heard from them, haven't you? You haven't even seen those guys in the clown suits out there. The white things and all the, even the colorful ones. You haven't seen that, have you? You've seen no protesting of Barack Obama from the white supremacists, have you? You know why? Because he's doing their bidding. They have taken their sheets, put them back on their beds. Why? Because we got the Grand Wizard in a tan sheet destroying the niggers for us. And think about that, did you? Think about it. If you dare to think about it. He ain't want us, y'all. But one more final thing, though. I'm going to tell you something now. That's our fault. That's not his fault. That's our fault, especially black people. Remember what Dr. King said? Dr. King, he chided us, and he chided white people, and he said, now look, y'all, he said, don't judge people by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Because if you, whether you like them or dislike them, whatever, yes, your entitlement, but do it not by their skin color, but by their character and their behavior. And what did we do just one generation later? This strange guy shows up with a strange Islamic name. We don't know who the freak he is. And all of a sudden, we vote for this guy based on his skin color. And we essentially slapped Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in the face. We spit on him. We walked and danced on his grave. How dare we even try to celebrate his birthday? The way we treat not only Dr. King, but we betrayed everything that our forefathers and our ancestors suffered over. I don't blame Barack Obama. That's us. And one final point on this. When he did show up, most of us did not think that, is he black enough? I don't know, man, a strange dude. Is he black enough? Well, he went to Iowa in the primaries, and he won Iowa. Then he went to New Hampshire and almost beat Hillary Clinton, our then darling. Okay? Iowa has what, 8 black people in it? So those are white people. New Hampshire has what, 14, 15 black people in it? When the Iowan white people and the New Hampshire white people said to us black people, Barack Obama is black enough for us, therefore he's black enough for you. And guess what we did? Okay. That's not that man's fault. Someone's going to give it up, he's going to take it. That's our fault, folks. We gave it up, and we better take it back while we can.